All right, what is going on, everyone? Can you hear me? I hope so. Let's see if we can get any insight here. This is the first time doing this, so please give us a little bit of feedback. It would be great. Let's see. Let's see. Awesome. Excellent. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys being here. Um, yeah, this is Matt Concordia with FX Replay Matt. I hope everyone is doing incredibly well. I'm so fired up to actually do this and get this running with you guys. The first time we had it was super fun. We did the Discord full margin session, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. So let me share my screen here, and we can get some testing and stuff going. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. I think you should. Should be good to go. Excellent, excellent. All right, let's do this. All right, so last time we yeah, last time we did the gold, the Discord full margin on gold. If you guys want to, did anyone have any insight if they want to do that again, or if we wanted to do something else? Just let me know. I guess we'll just go with it. Sorry, guys, just getting everything all sorted here. Just want to make sure everything's running and. All right. All right. Does anyone have any recommendations? Do you want to go with gold again and keep it going from last time? Just give me throw a yes in the chat or something, and we'll be good to go. Let's go. Let's go. I don't see any of the comments, by the way. That's why I'm just trying to figure out. Um, just give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Sweet. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Sorry, I just saw the comments. I couldn't see them for a second. We're good to go. All right. So let's do this. I'm fired up. Let's go into our gold session that we had last time. But actually, before that, I wanted to go through some of the analytics. We've been having a bunch of questions regarding the analytics, and so I'm just going to go into this session here and go into the analytics. And I wanted to show you guys what it's all about. Okay. And so basically, it starts off here up at your equity curve and all the trades that you've taken, right? So this is the main area. Obviously, you guys are probably familiar with how to use everything from here. But just to let you know, the questions that we've been getting have been revolved around the tags. So this is an older session before we had the journaling feature, and so a lot of I don't have any of the trades really tagged. There's only a couple that have been tagged, but essentially you can come up here and you can manipulate your data to see, hey, if I entered via market, how does that impact my results? And so basically, this is how it would look based off of all of the trades that have been tagged market entry and so on and so forth. So you can continue going on and highlighting them all, and it'll manipulate your data so you can really understand all the little intricacies of your data as well, right? So as we go down here, we get some of our main details. So our average risk to reward and our win rate, those are going to be pairing really, really nice together. Obviously, those are really important. And then you guys can go through all of these as well. Okay, so the max RR, so that's like the maximum that your trade is run in the in the basically it we look at the trades after, I believe it's a week or 2 weeks, and it looks at it in the future to see how far it's run, and then that'll be it'll print this number here, which is that's the max a trade would have ran. And so when we look at our ideal average RR, this is telling us, what the ideal should be. So my average is 2.5, but based off all the trades that I've taken, the average is 4.5. So this is something that I can test, right? With all of these stats that I have now, it might be better to just um, start taking trades at say 4R instead of 2.5, or 4.5R instead of 2.5, and so we could test in our results and see how much better we are in that regard there. And so yeah, anyways, we'll keep going down. I don't want to waste too much time on this part, but what I really wanted to go in, because this is where all the questions have been on, as we scroll down here, we can see the Monte Carlo simulation. Okay, so the Monte Carlo simulation, this is what we've been getting a bunch of questions on, and essentially all it is this. Okay, so if we tested or we simulated 20 times, okay, and we wanted to take say 100 trades per session, what would our trades, or what would our equity curve look like with our stats, with our current stats? So our 46% win rate, our average gain of 2,187, and our average loss of 1,226, right? We run that and we can start to see over the course of 100 trades. Okay, so there's 20 different simulations running at the same time here because you want to get the average. Okay, but over the course of those 100 trades, our average balance is 187. So our initial balance was 146. So you could see at the gain that you'll make likely over the course of 100 trades, and you can keep running it and you'll get different slightly different results as it's based off of probabilities, but you'll likely get it in and around those same numbers. Okay, so you can see there it's all around that same number, and the goal with this is ultimately to really just help you understand and use your uh, or stick to your rules, right? Because you can say to yourself, hey, in the course of 300 trades or 100 trades, like this is where my equity curve is going to be like, or is likely to be at around here if I just stick to my rules, if I just follow my strategy, and if I just maintain this win rate and this, my risk reward, then I'm all set. So this is what the tool is for. It's really, really helpful just from a psychological point of view. And yeah, that's basically what I wanted to show you guys on the analytics for right now. But yeah, it's a really, really cool feature. So I hope you guys like it. Now that being said, let's go into our Discord full margin gold trade account here. Okay. The 50% line. Yeah, so we will. The thing is we have to wait for TradingView on that one. They have to update their API in order for us to incorporate those types of things. So the 50% line on the rectangle. So those, yeah, definitely would like to be adding those. Those are really helpful on this right here. You can see that, yeah, it just doesn't have it as of now. And also I got to change this a little bit. There we go. Excellent. All right. Are we ready to start or what? Should be good to go. Should be good to go. And we are going to be hopefully smacking some trades, making some money. Let's go. All right. So let's go with the higher time frame first. Actually, let's actually check out our closed positions, because this is the one from last week that we took in Discord. So what you guys can do is you can open this panel up right here, okay? And you can go into your closed positions. And what you want to do is you just want to show it on the chart like that. You can either have it as arrows or you can have them as your risk to reward tool. So you can see that I dragged my stop loss to break even. So you'll be able to, that's why you don't see the risk on that. But the risk was actually up above this high. So it was a pretty decent sized trade here. And you can see that we caught the high up here, shorted all the way back down, and took out this low down here. That's where we were aiming for. And so you can see that it ended up being a good like $4,000 trade on this account. So yeah, that was the first trade, or sorry, the second trade. The first trade we took was a little long right here, and I'll show you. I can just click on this date to start, or sorry, it was a short. and we entered right here. It went down here, but we skipped it too fast, and it ended up we ended up closing it out like right here, based off of the 5 minute, I think it was, if I remember correctly. Let me just go back. Okay. Yeah. So see, it went down and then it closed back up on the 5 minutes. So we just closed it out right there. And yeah, that was the first trade, and then we got the second trade right here. So really cool stuff that are new features on FX Replay, being able to show everything on the chart, being able to go back and click through. It's all awesome. So you can go and check out how you performed. It's some really good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's go to the higher time frame and just start to see what's shaken. So also, let's actually get the news events going here. I think, oh no, okay, we already have it on USD. So that's good. We'll get those going just so then we don't hit any major news events without knowing. So last time we were testing, we were saying, hey, we're kind of in this consolidation, right? I mean, we're just floating in between this level right here, in between those zones. And so what we were saying was that, I'm more keen on the shorts. And so you can see this big fair value gap right here. Okay, you can see that that's just been holding like so. And so we were anticipating that that was going to hold, and then that's why we caught that short literally right from here after taking out that weekly high. So that was a really nice setup, really nice trade that we took there last week. And so now, just based off of how price is looking, I'm assuming, just by looking at it right now, I'm assuming that we are going to just continue down. Okay. Do you guys have any insight on that? Would love to hear any feedback, any recommendations, or any assistance with them. But yeah, looking at down, I'd probably be looking to target the previous weekly low, to be honest. One of the things I don't like, though, I got to be honest, is the fact that we hit this level right here. We tagged that last week. So we're kind of stuck in between two major zones on the weekly. But if I were to guess, I'm anticipating that the week is going to be coming down, eventually coming down to take out this level down here, maybe even this level down here. So let's just keep an eye on that. Let's go to the daily and see what's shaking. Okay. So firstly, I'm going to be really aware of this level as well, that rejection right there. And so I believe that this week we're going to be heading back down into this low. You can see that there's a beautiful order block right here for anyone that trades ICT concepts. Order block, fair value gap right here. Okay, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And so we're looking to fade a little bit down there, down to take out those lows. Can everyone see me and everything like that? I just heard that we might have some lag issues going on with the stream. Or is it all good on your end? It seems all good on over here, but just want to make sure. What time frame are you looking to enter on? Yeah, usually the M5. Like the way that I structure the entries is essentially like this. Like it'll be. We talked about this in the last session, but I'll do it again. We basically have. Okay, you're good. Okay, sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so basically I have like three kind of, how can I say it, like buckets. Okay, we'll say for analysis. So we'll have the higher time frame, and so this will be the like monthly, weekly, daily. This is literally just for directional. Like, so you guys saw on how we looked at the weekly there, and how this is really, where is my bias for that week or that day or that month. Okay, and again, it's just more to be aware of the higher time frame flow. Like I said, I believe that it's more down on the weekly. On the daily, it's proving that we're more down, right, where we broke through this level, this low right here. Okay, this last sequence of up candles, that's going to be an order block. We broke and closed below it. We have a fair value gap. We have another order block here. So I'm bearish on the weekly, bearish on the daily, and so therefore my directional time frame is down. And so then I'll kind of look for the next stage, which is going to be my middle time frame, we'll say. and we'll call that'll just be my 1 hour. On this, I'm just looking for sweeps. Like, I'm just looking for a nice clean sweep, and then once we get that sweep, then I'll be looking at the entry time frame, which will be the, say, entry, and we'll say that this is the 5-minute. Okay. Sometimes I'll rip up to the 15-minute as well, and just to see what's shaken, because sometimes it's not too clear on the 5, and you'll see something that's aggressively clear on the 15. And again, I can even scale down into the 1, but I really like to use the 1 minute as the last uh, level that I go into. So this is the sequence. This is the process. And the last time we talked too, or the last time we spoke, and I know a bunch of you guys aren't here, or weren't here. Sorry, on that first one. But what we were talking about was the process funnel, and talking about how important it is to create a process going from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3, and then that's just on your execution, right? When you're talking about your execution and your analysis, but there's also a funnel in regards to your preparation. You want to prepare, and then you want to use that preparation to choose the right asset, and then when you choose the right asset, how are you going to select the opportunity, how are you going to execute on that opportunity, how are you going to log your trades, and how are you going to review all the things that you logged. So that's your process funnel, and you want to follow this whole funnel down until you get to the last point, and then from there you can go back up and understand which part of the funnel is struggling, and which one you need to work on the most. And so that's ultimately what we talked about last time, and this is the process of execution for me personally. There's also some other things that I'm leaving out just from my personal strategy, that includes a lot of some other things, but this is the gist of it. All right. And I think if you follow a kind of a process similar, that you're kind of focused on higher time frame, and then going down to the medium time frame or mid time frame, and then going into the entry, you should be good to go. So anyways, hope that clarified some things. But let's go in now into the daily. And so actually, let's just go straight up to New York session. So I'm just going to skip to the next New York session. Okay, so now we're in New York, because again, I didn't really want to trade in between. So we're up, and we're in that fill. Okay, so we filled up that last level. Again, in a bearish week, I'm still looking for price to come back down into this low. So let's see if we get some respect right here. We just have price come back up into it, and so let's just see if we can see something on the 1 hour. That's nice. Okay, so let's see actually what day is this right here. This is the Friday, so we got Monday right here, Tuesday, potentially the high of the week, which would be really, really good. Okay, so when I'm looking at price now on the 1 hour, I don't see anything too crystal clear. Let me just check one more time here. Yeah, yeah, Keisho, play some lo-fi if you want. Just we'll keep the volume down, and then that's it. Okay, let's go to beauty. Let's go to right here. I can see that we have Asia's high right here. Okay, from a previous day. Okay, so we have to be aware of that. You can see in London, we came back up. We took out some highs. So there's a couple of alternatives that I see here, guys. Just to be clear, is we took out this high here. Like I said, on the 1 hour, we want to see a nice 1 hour sweep. And then you can see on the bottom here, we took out London's low and had a 1 hour sweep. I personally think we're going to come back up and take out Asia's high. So we might get that push up, and that lower sweep might have won. These are kind of the trades where I don't like to necessarily take part in them, or just kind of let things go and see how they develop. Okay, but you can see here that this is kind of our range where we're working within. We got to see if it's going to rip back up, or if we're going to fall directly from this high over here. Let me put on the show events just to make sure. What do we have here? We have Fed Chair Powell testifies at 10 a.m. So probably not going to be entering before the news event. You can see we get up to this level. So this is going to be the area of interest, of decision for gold, right? So if it's going to fail, it's going to fail from right here. And if it's going to go up, what it has to do is it really just has to respect here and then start breaking back up. So let's just see what's going to happen right now. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be breaking back down. If I look on the 1 hour, we probably got a nice sweep. So let's wait for the close right here. Okay, so we do have that. Let's wait for the close on this candle. I'm just going to skip it to the close of there. Perfect. Okay, so now we have the confirmation. So the sweep up confirmation of this order block like so. And it looks like we're going to start fading back down internally into this leg. So if I pull the fib from this low to this high, look at that. That's 50%. So that's going to be the premium of the leg and discount of the leg. And you can see in the discount, we have a couple nice lows here. We have a nice fair value gap right here as well to be aware of. And we have this last down candle, which could be used as a support. Is that yeah, thanks. Volume was cranking there. So yeah, let's see if we can get a fade back up into that. And again, this is what I'm talking about, guys, when I'm talking about the 1 hour. I want to see that 1 hour sweep and then confirm. And then now I can be looking on the 5 minute to say, hey, like this 1 hour high should hold, like realistically, right? If we're going to go down. And where do I see it going down to? Minimum is taking out this low here. Do you trade SMC? Yeah, so I went on a little bit of the history of my trading and stuff on the first one, but again, because a lot of you guys weren't there, I'll just rehash it super quickly. Is that I was initially in Chris Laurie's course, the Pro Traders Club, and from there, that's where I learned that's where I got profitable initially, and then I learned from ICT and kind of refined my edge and everything. And so yeah, that's basically the gist of what happened on my end. All right, so let's go down to the 5 minute. And what do we see here on the 5 minute? So again, we took out that 1 hour high, we hit that level right there, it's been respected, we break back down, right? This is our order block right here, remember, on the higher time frame, on the 1 hour. So it's looking to me, firstly, this fair value gap, we have this one right here. And so let me just clean this up a little bit because, it doesn't look too sweet as of right now. Those are some sweeps. This is our order block right here. Let's just put that orange. And yeah, we're looking to draw and fade towards this low, and more so directly down to that 1800 big figure would be super nice. The only thing I'm cognizant of is that 10 a.m. Fed Chair Powell testifies. So that's not something I necessarily want to be in in the pre-news, right? Okay, but you can see that we have a fair value gap here. The bodies are actually holding on this one, so I wouldn't be surprised if it just initially starts by taking out this low. Yeah, okay, so there we go. So we initially start by just taking out that low. And why did that happen? Well, because we were respecting here, right? Bodies were respecting and closing within. So, the likelihood of it coming back up into here is pretty slim. It looks like it would just have done that. So, okay, that's where we're at, right? We respected that fair value gap on the high. We have Asia lows right here. It's hard to see because we have another fair value, higher time frame fair value gap here. Let me just change that actually, so you guys can see right here. Okay, so that's the higher time frame fair value gap. This is our Asia low right here. So yeah, the fact is now that this is probably going to fade back down, but we took out that low already. So let's see what happens. Fair value gap right here. Okay, it's likely going to go run for that Asia low. Okay, there we go. Taps up into it. Now watch as it rips down here. That's what I'm anticipating. The only reason why I'm not entering, sorry, is because we have news right here. Okay, right in front of news. I'll just wait for afterwards and see what's shaken. Okay, so still respecting. No, going to break back up. All right, so this is post news. That's why we don't trade during the news. We want to see things clear up and see what's going on. Let's go to the 1 hour and see where we're at. So you can see, look at that 1 hour close, right? We got that 1 hour close right here. We swept this low. That's basically London's low. We didn't quite get down to Asia. So it does look like now that we've kind of switched up a little bit, and at least we're going to come back up to this high and potentially up to London's high. Okay. So we adapt with the market. We see what's going on. And right here, we just took out that low into this, actually. You can see the wick of this right there. So that's that order block right there. Taps on that order block. So yeah, definitely looking like it's going to create that higher high and head up to that Asia high. Again, post-news event play right there. So one of the things that I could have been more cognizant of is this right here. So as soon as that fair value gap failed, And then at the same time, you can see how it closes within it right here on the bottom. So it actually fails to break through it as well. We break back up. That right there is your indication that this thing is going. And you can see we tapped into that order block on this candle right here and shoots up. So would not be surprised to see this thing keep going. I'm going to be looking at, again, right here. Okay. If we want, we can just test that out along here. But the thing is, the risk reward is kind of skewed. So not one that I'd like to take, but I wouldn't be surprised if we dabble back into it right here and start launching up. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so we dabble back into that level right there, retest it a couple times, launch back up, and there we go. Clears out all those levels. So there you go. You know, we read the market well, didn't get the opportunities that I wanted. I mean, maybe I could have entered directly on this fair value gap like this. Okay. Plus we had this old order block there. Plus we had this last sequence of down candles right here, higher time frame order block. So this could have been a really an opportunity to enter right here. It's just the stop loss for me would have been a little bit bigger, and so it wouldn't have yielded the risk to reward that I would have liked. So yeah, but again, this is trading, right? I mean, you're not going to get, even though you might read it right, you read it well, and did everything properly, you might not get the entry that you feel comfortable with taking. And at the end of the day, you're a trader, and the goal is to do what? The goal is to execute trades to grow your capital. And the only way to do that is to take trades that you're confident in, to take trades that you've seen 1,000 times play out, and so that you don't mind risking the capital on. If you're worrying about where to get an entry, or you're like trying to find an entry, it's probably not the right setup, right? You should probably wait, because it should be crystal clear. It's like I said in my last email post I did. You're not Dora the Explorer, all right? Like, you're not trying to search for things. You're just trying to watch them as they come up, and then that's it, right? You're trying to just adapt to the market. That's all. All right, so let's see how this hour closes. Wouldn't be surprised if we close and just sweep and close back below, or it's going to close and try and seek up into this fair value gap up here. But it also depends on the daily, right? Because the daily, depending on how the daily closes here, and sorry, we're getting some lag, but if the daily closes back up through this level like this, well, then what does that mean, guys? We talked about it in the last stream, but what does that mean if the daily closes through a daily level here? Let me know in the chat. Come on, you guys know this. I trust you. Don't be afraid. I'm just gonna grab some coffee while you think about it. Remember, what happens if a daily candle closes through, up and through a daily level? Well, I'll answer it for you, but it means that the order flow is now shifting, right? So we were bearish, but if we're closing through bearish levels, then that means, it's not going to be holding. And so what we have to do is we have to focus on, okay, now if that's the case, then we're likely going to do what? We're going to likely retest and then go back up. Okay, so the question is that if we are, say, in a bearish market where we were anticipating that this fair value gap was going to hold to bring us back down, if we close through it on this daily candle, meaning this daily candle ends the day and it closes through, what does that mean on the daily? What does that mean? I basically just said it, but it means that things have changed, okay? It means that things have changed, and it means that we are likely... Yeah, but that's fine though, because you're right that the 1 minute could have been, but like I said, it's like, what's your process? If my process isn't to go on the 1 minute, if my process is to stick to the 5 minute, I want to see my 5 minute first, and then I would go into the 1 minute, right? That sequence is the most important part, and you have to preserve that at all costs. You don't just go straight down to 1 minute, and I think that's where a lot of the SMC traders get into trouble. You know what I mean? That's where they get into trouble, is they just go straight down to the 1 minute, and then it's, then they get chopped up. So anyways, that's why I didn't go down to the 1 minute. But yeah, you're right though. You can do it, right? Again, if it's a part of your strategy. So Trader Doug, my man, I'm going to agree with you here, and until if the daily closes like that. We haven't closed yet, so we're just waiting, but it does look that way 100%. Okay, so let's what time is this? It's at 10. Yeah, so we're just going to skip down because it's already New York close, right? So just to go back into the day, where could I have taken the risk? Well, we have that sweep. I could have been more diligent right here. As soon as this hourly closed at the news event, I could have went down to the 5-minute. Okay, and right here, been looking at that order block right there. Okay, entering somewhere around there, stop around there. The only thing is like I said, my target was only up to here, so potentially I could have, or where was my target? Is this 2R? Yeah, I could have taken that, actually. That was my bad, guys. That was my bad. I definitely could have taken that one. And then we could have targeted up into this fair value gap to hold on a little bit more. So yeah, but you can see here, this is what I was saying on the daily, okay? Look at, okay, on the 5-minute, what do we have? We have a 5-minute fair value gap, right? That in a bearish environment should have held. But what happens? We close through it, we retest back down into it, and then we get that reaction out of it. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So this is the first indication that there's a change in state, we'll say. Okay, so a change in state from bearish to bullish. That's the first indication. And so once you start to see it develop, maybe you can start to go back down into the 1 minute and start to say, hey, okay, well, what's shaking over here? And you can see, like, look at that. Well, we got a sweep on liquidity right here. This at the 10 a.m. Open. Okay, this is when the news came out. So we're looking a post-news event play. So yeah, definitely you have your breaker right here. Okay, that's your breaker block right there because it took out a low, it takes out a high, that should be holding, and you can see it 1, 2, 3 times tested, and we up. Okay, so again, could have refined it up a little bit right here. You can even see over here, as soon as we slid through that, this could have been a potential entry, but it was pre-news, so definitely not interested in that on my end. All right, so that's what I would have been looking at, or that's what I should have been looking at. But we were bullish as soon as it shifted, so just didn't want to enter, didn't want to take the risk on that one. So let's go. So I don't know if you guys know this. I know a lot of people don't. We get questions about it all the time, but it's the go-to feature. Okay, what is the go-to feature? You click go-to, and you can skip directly to your session. This is a huge feature, guys. I mean, if you're testing and you have 1,000 trades, and every time you're going like this, and you're trying to skip to the next session, don't do that. You just click next and you set the session. Okay, you can go into your custom session. You can go into your times, right? So it's a little glitchy right now because I was holding down the what's it called, the space bar by accident. So that's what happened. But you can set the times that you want, right? And you can go to whatever session. So I usually go about 15 minutes before, just so I can get a read on the market. And this is usually when I'm pulling up to my own charts, 7:30, just to investigate, see what's going on pre-New York. But you can set it up to the silver bullet sessions the next day. You can set it up even to the next news event and even to the next price. And so for your next price, you just come into here, price, and you set the price that you want it to go. You'll say max it will skip forward is a day or an hour or a couple minutes, whatever it is. And then that's it right there. It'll go to the exact price that you want it to go. And so you don't have to wait. You can be super, super efficient with your testing, guys. And this is huge, like just massive. Okay. So anyways, hope you guys get some value out of that. Let's go up and see what's shaking here. So one of the concerns that I said to you guys at the initial point was that we were stuck in between the two levels, and this was my main concern, was that we took out the weekly lows into this rejection block. We respected it, closed back up within, and so now, yeah, to me, it's now looking like we're going to come and take out that high. All right, so to me, it's looking a little bit bullish, a lot of it bullish. Okay, so I'm looking at price to come take out this high. And even though it is supporting this bearish fair value gap on the weekly, it is something that we could potentially look up and taking back up into this high up here eventually. So let's just see what's going on. And the weekly is forming nicely. The daily, you can see, what did we do on the daily? Well, if I can just extend that there. What did we do on the daily? We absolutely ripped through this level. Okay, we absolutely ripped through this level. And I have to save this, guys, because this is... I forgot to save this here. Let's go save, POI, save. Yes. Okay, perfect. Yeah, the skip forward is super efficient. Honestly, helps out so much if you're trading, you're trying to get in the reps, right? That's the idea. And if it's taking you, even 10% longer, to get in the reps, I mean, it makes life so much more inefficient, so much harder. So that's definitely why we wanted to add that there. All right, so again, what am I looking at? We have these last sequence of down candles that purge some liquidity here. So that's going to be an order block. We're looking at the previous day's high to get taken. That's going to be the draw on today. So I'm bullish on today. Where am I looking at to be bullish from? Let's just turn this into a red, and let's save this one as well. Let's call this one our POI. So we'll just keep those red. All right, so we're looking at either coming all the way back down into here, into this inefficiency right here, okay, or just using this order block. Now, I'm anticipating it's going to use the order block, to be honest, because running down into here is pretty far for where we're at. And I honestly think if we look at the previous day, 50% of the range is literally right there. So if it comes back down into discount on that day, it should be good to go. And again, might be supporting here as well. All right, so yeah, let's see if we can get a bounce back off here and then bounce back up. Let's go to the 1 hour again. One thing I do really, really like about this is you can see here this old fair value gap on the left-hand side. It's probably going to accumulate within it, okay? It's probably going to accumulate within it. What I would actually like to see, though, is it come back down into this fair value gap here. Just poke down in through it and then hold it, and maybe we can get that launch back up throughout the day. That's the ideal scenario. But again, draw on the day is up at the highs. So let's just, here, let's go to the eye. Okay. We're looking at price to draw back up into the previous day's high. We have London's level right here. I would expect London to hold right here. This would be the ideal scenario, okay? Bread and butter. Ideal scenario. So let's just fast forward the hour to close the hour off. Okay, so closes within, still didn't break through. Okay, but the ideal scenario is that we get one more run down, hit this level, and then rest of New York session comes up and takes out that high. To be honest, I didn't like that close. What I was going to say the ideal scenario would have been is you see this 1 hourly high right here. If it swept that, broke back down, and then started breaking down there, but all good. Let's see what's shaking here. Again, I got to wait for that 1 hour in a bullish scenario. Let's see what the 5 minute is saying first, though. Just want to see. You know, it's clearly building up that bullish order flow. I don't think it's going to come down even into that level, guys. Like I wanted it to. I think it's just going to hold this structural point right here. You can see order flow is building on this side, right? Fair value gap holding. And, you know, we have this last sequence of down candles here. This is going to be traffic right here. So wouldn't be surprised if it just rips up from here. But let's just see. Let's see what goes on here. Let's see what's going on. 15. Yeah, what do we have? CPI. Okay, so we got to wait for CPI. Unfortunately, that's probably going to be the one that rips it up, to be honest, at 8:30. Yeah, it's accumulating at that fair value gap. It's probably just going to explode right from here. Let's see. CPI. We got that sweep on CPI. Okay, look what CPI did. Took out all of these lows. Look at this. All these lows just got taken out right there. And there it was, right? So we got that long. Again, didn't get any sort of entry. Even on the 1 minute here, I wouldn't have taken anything. But the draw was up, super clean on directionally. Let's see what's going on in the 1 hour. Definitely looking like it's still going to continue, right? Our draw on the higher time frame is going to be up at these equal highs. So let's see. We are taking out a daily high though. So let's see. Coming right back down into the range. Okay, 50%. Ideally, what we get is, well, it already hit off this order block right here, so it can just go up directly from here. But there was no liquidity sweep on it, so it probably went down one more time. There we go. Okay. So again, if we're following our sequence of events or our process, what do we need? Well, we have a nice fair value gap here, actually. That's supporting on the 5. Only thing is we already took out our daily liquidity pool. So is there a possibility to go backwards? Yeah, I don't have it enabled because I don't use it. But what you have to do, and here we'll go through it quick just to show you guys how to do it. You go up into your account, you go manage account, go into customizations and enable replay mode. Okay, so you enable replay mode, but I would be careful with it because like you want to make sure that you're testing properly. You know what I mean? And when you have replay mode enabled, like you might be tempted to say, oh, I would have taken that. Like for me, example here, I could have been like, oh, I read it properly. I could have entered there. Okay, I'm going to go back and enter. But that's just not the reality of what actually happened. So just be cognizant of that. Be careful. Don't try not to cheat yourself, because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You're not doing anything but cheating yourself. So just be cognizant of that, guys. But yeah, anyways, took that out. I'm more leaning towards, let's see how the 1 hour closes. Okay, so the 1 hour closed like that. I wouldn't take longs here, guys. We have this fair value gap. We're closing back within. We still didn't even get 50% of this up move right here, right? So if I look at this up move, we have a high right here. We failed to break. So 50%, it should still fade back down into this level. And it looks like we might have a failure to go higher into this fair value gap. And so we might be seeking down at this low. Just be cognizant of that one as well. We have that failure right there. We have a fair value gap right here. If I could just extend that out. So yeah, I would be very, very cognizant of this coming down as opposed to it going up, because we already hit the pool and we already hit the daily liquidity pool by 20 points. So that was probably the run for the day. Let's see. It's still holding here though. It's still respecting. Occur 3 times before the intended move. Yeah, definitely. Like it definitely. It's definitely something to be aware of, right? A lot of the times it doesn't just purge and then revert right away. Sometimes it accumulates at it and whatever. So it definitely could happen, but I don't have any like fixed rule on it of it has to purge this many times. Like as soon as I start to see what I want to be seeing, then we're usually good to go. To be honest, though, now the fact that we just had that rejection there, we're supporting this level. We have a 1 hour block. It does look like we're going to continue back up and go with the higher time frame flow back up into that level. Wouldn't be surprised if it just goes straight up from here. See? Okay, so we have that order block holding. We have this last sequence of down candles holding. Okay, so what we can do actually is just take a smaller risk trade on this one. Okay, and let's see if we can get that last extension back up into here. I like the fact that we had that 1 hour close, and again, this is that 1 hour low. We have filled everything within here. Again, a lower probability trade because we already took out the daily liquidity pool, but definitely by the time it gets up into that daily high here, we can be moving to break even. So let's go option M for a market execution. Let's go to 50%. Well, actually, we have to highlight this first, sorry. Okay, option M. 0.5%. So instead of the 1%, we're just going to go to 0.5. If you guys want, again, you can tag it whatever you want. I'm going to just not tag the trades for right now, but we can save it and journal it and everything just by clicking it right here. I don't know if I'm sharing or if I'm going to be able to share it because I think it's just focused on the FXR screen right now. So if I pop that journal up, you're not going to be able to see it. But anyways, let's see how it goes here, guys. So we're on the 1 minute here. Let's see if we can get a move up. No. And so there we go. Directly fail. We got an absolute fail, guys. And so you know what that means. You blew it. You blew it. I should have stuck to my rules and we didn't, right? But that's all good. We all good. We come back. Let's go. Let's take that off. Go to the 5. Okay, so it is still supporting this level. But again, we already gave that one attempt there. So now it looks like it's going to be going. That's why I usually stay out for 1. But all good. Chop. But it hits that level eventually. So we were right directionally. But again, the reason why we're getting some chop here is because of what? Because we purged that buy side liquidity, right? So we're getting some chop here because that's where that liquidity was resting. And again, one of the things that Chris Laurie taught me that I absolutely love, and we talked about it last time, but it's something that he said. in his course, and it was this: price is a function of liquidity. Okay, so price will do what it needs to do because of the underlying liquidity, because of where it's resting. So if we see that there's money resting right here, look at, right, we get that reaction. And so we always have to ask ourselves where that money is, instead of just looking at just points of interest and stuff like that, right? Look at liquidity was resting under Asia's low. We accumulate right underneath Asia's low and we get that response. We hit this high right here, we accumulate at that high and we get a response, right? It doesn't mean that it's gonna be the response that completely makes it reverse. It might just be a consolidation like so, and then it continues up higher based on the higher time frame direction. But it's just something to be aware of. That's usually where you get the choppiest price action is in these kind of scenarios. So for me, what I should have done was either use this order block as the risk, right, with the stop below here, or waited for the 5 minute to confirm, just like I typically do, and then go down to the 1 minute. Because this is the problem with the 1 minute, is you get the you get those fake or those failures, and then you get the real move. So there you go, right? We took out that low, we have that inversion right there. That's your entry. I mean, it would have hit it multiple times before actually going, but yeah. Anyways, that's how it was there. A lot of chop, a lot of things we could have avoided, but is what it is. Is what it is. All right. So let's just take off all that stuff right there, and let's fast forward to the next session. Go to New York. Again, it looks like the same thing is going to happen, guys. Same bullish behavior. I can already tell. We already went through here. We have the previous day high still available, and we have all these equal highs up here. So that's what I'm looking for. If I look at the daily, okay, we're supporting. And again, where did we support? Okay, we missed that one there. If I put the 50% of this range here, so this wick, 50% of that wick is being supported on this side. Okay, so it looks like we are going to come and reach up into these highs up here. So that's going to be my draw on the day. When we look at the 1 hour, what's going on here? Okay, 1 hour, we see what? Last sequence of down candles. Okay, shift over. Yeah, that's a key. If you think of it like that, I feel like it helps out a significant amount, you know. Price being a function of liquidity, it's a pretty significant thing to think about. Okay, so we have a significant low right here. Why? Because it's a swing low. Okay, we have a higher low beside it, lower low, higher low. We have Asia range right here. We accumulated. London sweeps down. Maybe this was the low of the day already. Okay, you can already see that the 1 hour broke through a fair value gap here. It should have probably held that if it was going to continue down. We closed back above it, retested it right here. The only problem is we're right back up into traffic. So we do have to be cognizant of the fact that there is traffic right here. Okay. And so let's see, we have from this low to this high, we have our 62. Again, all of the colors are still light. I got to change up all the colors here because I was using a dark theme for a while, and I just recently switched it over to the light theme again. So that's why everything is kind of wonky. And let me just delete this. We don't need that anymore. You can see better. Okay, and so I'd anticipate maybe some sort of sweep here on the hourly first, and then start coming back up. Just an hourly low, maybe into this level here again. I think that this is going to be the low of the day, to be honest, just because it's London, and we have Asia and London highs still preserved. So Asia high, London high preserved. That's going to be our draw. Our draw is also going to be up into this level up here at the 1831s. And so, yeah, let's just see what's shaking there. Keep on the line, the higher low. We have money bags. Yeah, you're right. Money bags. I gotta find them first. It should be on here, no? It's all good. Too much commitment. There's a lot going on there. But yeah, I'll find it for the next time. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Let's see how this closes. So we closed respecting a 1 hour order block here. So we can't just assume bullishness, even though, yeah, we are bullish. We can't assume that because we're respecting a 1 hour bullish or bearish order block, right? If I go down to the 5 minute, what are we going to see here? You know, we respected that level and we slid through a fair value gap right here as well. So Again, nothing, or we haven't actually slid through it. We're actually respecting it still. So I still think it's going to come back down and take out some sort of low before we get some launch up. So let's see. Again, I have to wait, for me personally, I would have to wait on the hourly to take out a low of some sort and fail. Okay. So you can see here that we ended up coming all the way back down, respecting that 1 hour rejection block, sweeping out these hourly lows here. So are we going to continue up? If it's going to continue, it's going to continue likely from right here. Okay, and look at that. So we start off by taking out all those, respecting that level, and now we have an order block right here with a fair value gap on the 5 minute. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we be attempting this or what? I want some insight from you guys. Should we be attempting a long here? Okay, we actually came down and took out or mitigated the last down candle right there. You can see it respected pretty beautifully. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give this a try. We're gonna give this a try right here. It'll probably come back down, to be honest, into, you can see there's a little volume imbalance right here. Okay, it might just come back and dabble back down into that, but for us, based off of what we're trying to do here, I'm not too concerned about it, honestly. So let's just let's go up here and let's just target, just to be safe. We have London's high here. We should be able to target. You're saying short. Let's see who's right. I mean, you could very well be right. The 1 hour does look, we are respecting, but we're also respecting now on the 1 hour low, and our bias is up higher to come and take out the liquidity up here. We already broke through this level. So again, we might, who knows, we might sweep back down this low into this order block first. Yeah, exactly. It might come down one more time, but I think it's worth the opportunity here. I think it's worth it to take it because we have our confirmation and everything. So yeah, let's just take it and let's see. We have a lot of higher targets to target, but let's go. We'll go for our 1% risk. Okay, and what was I going to say here? First, actually, we should check the news. Actually, we do. So the news is, it's not on today. We have nothing today. So let's see. All right, let's go on to the 1 minute and just see how it's going to develop. Okay, so it hits that. See, it's consolidating. I don't like that. Okay, it hits that the volume imbalance, and we're supporting it right now. So let's see if it's going to launch. It's going to launch directly from here, and it's going to look at targeting these highs. And if it's going to fail, it's going to fail. Like, it is what it is. We wanted to see price go up by 10 a.m. really, right? Why 10 a.m.? Because look at the hourly. Okay, if the hourly is bullish, okay, what should it do? We should come back up and end up bullish by the end of the hour, meaning we should probably come back up and take out this high. If it's just consolidating here, it's more likely that this is going to come back down. Okay, because we have this order block that was hit by this last up candle here, and then now it's hitting this last up candle. So again, probably not the A plus setup that we would want, to be honest, because now that we already hit that level and we're showing some respect off of it right there. Okay, but again, let's just see what happens, just for the sake of testing. We can go back into it later and just go through it. It looks like it's going to come down, guys, to be totally honest. Yeah, so we got stopped out on that one. Okay, you blew it again. You blew it again. So we need the banner. Put up the banner, Keisho. We need the "you blew it" banner. There it is. You blew it. What can I say? Yeah, I had to come back down that one more time. I think it's gonna fail. Okay, so we're coming back down even below the previous day's lows. I thought for sure we were gonna come up and run those highs, just because we were supporting this level in here, but all good. All good. Is what it is. Take some L's. We took some L's. Let's see. So again, in regards to the 1 hour, what did we see here? Well, first of all, we had that 1 hour order block here. So looking for shorts immediately off of that was probably a good idea. If we go to the 5 minute, like I said, as soon as it slips through this level here, which it did right there, look at this, we got that close, we got that retest up into it, and then we get that break back down. Okay, we come back up and test it again, and then what happens on the hourly? Okay, hourly does exactly that, right? Creates that order block. As soon as that that retest up into it, that's just not a good sign right there, and closes back below. Okay, so we have this fair value gap right here that was broken through. Okay, it was broken through, closes back up, breaks back down within it, supports it, breaks back down, and then what do we have here? That order block, quote unquote, order block that should have held, quote unquote, right? It gets accumulated at it on the other side, on the opposing side, and then we start breaking back down, and then we have the flow shift, right? All the flow has been changing right from here. So it was just a misread, stuck into the bias, that the bias should have been coming back up here, but 1 hour order flow was very, very clear in the sense that, you know, it's like we said before, we respected 1 hour order flow, so we can't say it's bullish. And then we got that break back down and it was respected again. And so it is what it is, right? This is a part of trading. You're going to make mistakes and you're not going to read it properly, and it is what it is. Okay. Not all the times are going to be perfect. So all good. We now come back down into that previous daily low. And you can see that we hit that low. We hit that level that we initially wanted. Okay. From this day, it finally hits it, taps it, and then we get our response there. And we get a pretty substantial response after sweeping that hourly low, structural low on the daily. And now it looks like it'll probably start coming back up into those highs, to be honest. It's London close right now, so I'm not going to be taking any trades, but just so you guys are aware, let's look at the 15-minute. Maybe there's something here. No, there's nothing serious that I would like to take here, but let's see. Going to close a bullish day. Let's go to the New York session. So yeah, ended up closing. It did what we wanted. You know, we just it had to go down that one more time. Had to take out that daily low before coming up and taking out that high. So is what it is. Is what it is, guys. Tough bounce. Okay, let's go to the daily and see what's shaking. So again, we took out that daily low into that point of interest. Okay, we get that closure back up into the range. So the next day starts out, goes back up, takes out these relatively equal highs on the daily, but we still have a ton of equal highs on the daily. So yeah, I'm still looking for bullishness to come and take out these highs. All of these equal highs now come back up more into this leg. I don't think it's going to fail from here. And the way that it's reacting. Again, the thing that I don't like, though, is the fact that we already took out the daily highs. It just goes back to that first loss that we took. Okay, so just not the ideal scenario. But what I would be looking for on this is a nice sweep below the Asia lows. Let's see, what do we have here? We have retail sales, Michigan's consumer. Those are tradable. Okay, now we're making equal lows on the 8 a.m. hour. So to me, I'd like to see a sweep of that low first, as opposed to it just sustaining and looking for longs from here. Okay, because it's probably going to be inducing some longs. It did poke through it a little bit actually, but on the 1 hour, I mean, those are pretty. It didn't even get back down to this. So there's an order block and fair value gap right here. So order block, we have this right here. Okay. That's what you're looking at as your order block. You have your fair value gap right here as well, a little small fair value gap. I don't think we dabbled into that one. No, we didn't. Definitely didn't. So probably going to come back down, retest that one more time, and then go up from there. Let's see. Ooh, just going straight up. Okay, so we got our first news coming in hot. We have a fair value gap here. We have our order block right here. Okay, order block right here. What do you guys think? You think it's going to go up from here? Or you think it's going to go down again one more time? Let's look on the 1 hour. Let's just see where we're at. We have to be cognizant, again, of the fact that we barely swept that low, but that could have been sufficient enough. But we are coming right back up into a 1 hour fair value gap here. So these are the kind of scenarios that for me, that I personally don't like to be trading in, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because I don't like entering when there's an option to go short and an option to go long. If I'm going long, I want to be entering from over here by the time or before it hits this level. The fact that it hit this level already makes me say, I don't necessarily like that. But again, I'm definitely more bullish to take out all these highs up here, okay? So what do you guys think? Should we go for it? Should we take it on the 5 minute? Fair value gap, order block. We have news coming in. Retail sales. That's okay. That should be okay to trade. Yeah, full port long. Let's go it. We're a bunch of degenerates here, guys. Let's go. Let's cover this low just because it's a news event. Excuse me. Still a little sick. And let's go and take out these highs. Let's go. Option B, if you guys want to set any limits. Okay. Bruh. Let's go. It's going to come take out this low. Bruh. We got stopped, boys. It came back down to that level one more time. So this is what I'm saying. So this is actually a good lesson. Okay. So for the when you're in a level like this, okay, when you're in that higher time frame level, like it's better just not take the trade because it's already in that level and it can do exactly what it did here to go and take out those lows, right? So in real life, those are ones that, you know, it's easier just to wait and avoid. But now that we hit this level, now this is where it gets interesting because we hit that level in that bullish environment. We induced all the buying right here. We took out this low right here. So we should be good to go up now. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay. And so what I'm looking for on this side is a failure of fair value. Okay. So you can see here that realistically, if we are going short, that we should be respecting the bigger fair value gaps. Okay. This one, we have one right here as well, but these are probably going to be used now as support on the opposite side to take it up. All right. So let's just see what's shaking on the 1 minute here. You can see there's a little fair value gap here. And it dabbled into it. Damn. I was going to give it a skip and then enter on it, but that's okay. We can look at it right here. All right. Broke back down, respecting that level. Okay, coming back up. So we're stuck in between this range. Again, it's still respecting and bouncing off these levels. So let's just see here. Let's see if we can get it along. I still am really adamant on this going up. Oh, I just zoomed in the screen there. There we go. Okay, let's see if this is going to hold here. Nope. Okay, so we have the equal lows getting taken right here. Yeah, the 15-minute looks absolutely disgusting. Well, let's see. This is the candle. And we're still supporting though. That like this is the problem, right? We're still supporting that value gap here. Let's see. We're gonna get support here. Support. Okay. We got that value gap. Ideally, if I'm looking to take a long, I'm looking to wait for it to break back up above this. Okay, so just like that. Let's just take a long, guys. Let's go for it. Let's go one more risk on the day. And let's go and target these highs up here. Okay. Market execute, 1%. Let's go. Gonna fail. Failed. All right, let's call that a day, guys. Couple losses, boys. Tough stuff. Just failed. We were wrong on directionally for the day. Let's skip through. Okay, no worries. Let's go to the 1 hour here. Let's see where did we go wrong? Does it just have to get into this order block down here? Does it just have to tag that? And will it go from there? Price bag, yeah, may go up now. Exactly. I think we're still right directionally. I think it's just doing just not acting how we want it to act here. I mean, if we're playing the higher time frame, you know, this level is the one that should hold. So again, is what it is. Let's just skip forward because again, that's going to be the end of the New York session. So let's go to New York. Again, just had to come back down here. Still respecting this level. Let's take a look. Let's take a higher time frame look. We're just consolidating, right? We're getting chopped around in all this. So we need to take a step back and say, hey, what's going on? What is going on? Okay, let me just clear all this stuff quickly. Okay, so what's going on here? We're accumulating within this fair value gap still. All right, we have this range right here, 50%. We're still in premium of that range. However, that being said, we are still at that order block right here. We're still holding it. So nothing is necessarily changing. I still believe that we're coming back up. I think we're just getting manipulated left and right here. So we did take out that previous daily low, but we also are in this level right here. So this is where you got to be very careful. We're in the middle of a consolidation right now, and we have a rejection block here for shorts. We swept the daily highs right here and caused a down candle. We swept the daily lows now and are potentially causing an up candle. So we're in between this range. Like, we want to be trading outside of the ranges and ultimately not in the middle. So that's what we are going to do today to avoid any sort of mess. We don't want to get ourselves in any more of a mess than we already have. All right. So we have, again, this range here. We've taken out the high. We've taken out the previous daily low here. So let's just see what's going to happen. Again, we have that rejection block on the daily, but it's also this fair value gap this order block on the 1 hour. We have Asia highs like getting taken. So I'd be more inclined for downside, maybe even taking out these equal lows before the major upside push. Okay. We broke through fair value gap right there. Let's see, maybe retest and come back down. Definitely don't like how it looks though. I'll be completely honest. Let's go. Yeah, I'm not touching this as of right now. Okay, we got that 1 hour high sweep. That next hourly candle should probably now, based off of our bias, it should come back down to here. Let's see what's going on in the 5. Okay, I would expect this next hourly low to come back down, or next hour to come back down and take out this low. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so we were right with the draw there. Okay, no entry signal for me personally, but it does look like we're going to start fading back down. Let's see. We have to be careful because, again, we are in a consolidation. Once these lows are getting hit, they're being respected. So let's see if it's going to respect this fair value gap over here, or if it's just going to break back down, which is the ideal scenario, is to take out these lows, then we can look for our longs. If it respects these lows right here, I'm going to be like, damn, I did not want to see that. Okay, and you can see right now, we have that fair value gap here in Asia. We took out this swing low right here with that 1 hour. So again, you have to be cognizant of, hey, this could go back up because we hit that discount level, discount array. Okay. Nasty. Hold fair value gap. It's going to be used as support likely. Let's see. Time is it? Oh, end of day. All right, let's skip forward. Yeah, this was just not a fun week on the testing. There we go. We finally hit that low. Not a fun week, guys. It was hilarious because the first session we did in our Discord, this is the week that we got. We literally caught this short from right up here all the way back down to take out this low right here. And then we were saying, hey, potential longs from here back up into this fair value gap. And now we're, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of just disgusting price action. And you can see here, we're in this fair value gap. And one of the interesting things here is that this last down candle, okay? So we have the actual order block right here, but it looks like it might have just needed to come back down into there, okay? And now that we took out we purged some liquidity over here, let's just clean up everything, okay? Now, this is where I'm more inclined to look for longs, okay? More inclined to look for longs here. After we took out that level, took out that low, did we come back down to this fair value gap? Yes, we did. Okay. So that's nice. One of the things, again, if we're just being aware of where we're at, we have equal highs right here. We do have traffic right here, okay, that caused the break back down. So we do have to be cognizant of price right here, okay? We don't want to be taking longs into that. We'd like to see maybe a failure of that first and then longs, okay? Failure to go lower than longs. But it's looking really nice the way it's developing right now, honestly. After purging that low, we took out all that liquidity, all that sell-side liquidity, and now we're getting a really nice response. We're shifting market structure and going up. Again, just be cognizant of that. I do like these equal highs and everything right here as well, though. So let's see what the hour has to say. Okay, hourly, again, this goes back to what we did. Remember, guys, right here. Where was it? Right here. Well, remember that mistake that we made? Longing directly in that, or staying true to our, or staying with our bias in that. We have to, you know, learn from that lesson and say, hey, we're up into this level right now. Let's just be patient, and if anything, we can, you know, look to see what's going on. But yeah, there's a lot of traffic right here. I do think that this one's going to break. I don't like this one was a little bit stronger because I'll tell you why. Because we were above the daily high, okay? So we were in the buy side liquidity up here, whereas here we're at the sell side liquidity, okay? So this one is likely to break because of that. But again, just staying true to what I was saying here, we should probably wait for it to break first before any sort of entry, or wait for a sweep back down into this level and then look for that long, okay? So that's what I would personally be looking for. And what do you see here, guys? Equal lows. So you want to see that getting swept. We have our order block right here. Okay, so I'd be more so inclined to wait for price to come back down into here, and then you know, something like that, and then up to take out all these equal highs. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So we get that response immediately at the beginning of 8 a.m. the 8 a.m. hour, coming right back down, potentially going to set the low of the hour. So let's just go on the 1 minute and just kind of refine and see what's going on here. Is there anything to be aware of? No. See, so just slipped right through. It just slid right through. Let's see if we get a failure. We got that failure. We swept through that low, filled up all of that fair value gap down here in that order block right here. Okay, filled up that last point right there. We purged that liquidity as well, and immediately also went up to take out the equal highs. But again, we still have higher prices, so I would be potentially looking at this rejection block right here, right? That last rejection wick, probably fade back down to that before the longs come up. But you can see just a massive candle here. And we do have a fair value gap, and this is likely where this breaker block is going to hold, and that's not what I meant to do. This is what I meant to do. Okay. Okay, so right here, we're within this breaker block now. All right. We have the 50%, so the equilibrium has been hit. And honestly, we should be good. I don't think it's going to fill up the rest of this this leg. I think it's going to be good to go from right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take an entry on it, and I'm just going to put my stop below the last fair value gap on the 1 minute. Let's see if we can get a good risk to reward on that, though, because it does look like it's a pretty significant. We should be able to get at least 2. All right, so let's just go with that one. Go 1% risk. Let's see if we can get a win here. Okay, let's see if this is going to hold or if it's going to sweep again. One more time. It might sweep down again. Let's see. There we go. So now that we've come up to this high, and what time is it? We're getting into the London close. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm just going to mitigate some of that risk there. Because again, I don't want to see it breaking through this breaker block. I want to see it holding just like that. And now we should start heading up to the next liquidity pool. Again, if price is a function of liquidity, and that's you know, true to form, right? We have liquidity on either side. when it comes back down and purges this liquidity, and there's, you know, some liquidity pooled right here, and then, you know, in the form of like double highs or double tops right here. Okay, well, once we purge that and grabs here, well, then what's it likely to do? Well, it's likely to go seek the next pool of liquidity right here. And either it does a retracement or fails, or it comes back up into the major one like that. Okay, so it's always running from into liquidity pools. So if that's the case, then where's our next liquidity pool? Well, it's right here. Okay, so we should get up to there. Let's see. And we got stopped out again at relatively break even. I honestly think that is just going to be a sweep on this low. I didn't want to see it. You blew it again. Boys, this has been a tough session on gold. We have not been getting the reactions that we wanted. I got to be honest here. But I think it was just what's it called? Manipulation of that low. And we are going to be accumulating within this. I still think that we're up. I don't see any reason why we would come back down, to be honest. Am I missing something though? Let's go to daily. Is it going to wait for the daily close? That's what it might do. It might wait for the daily to close back above here, and then the next day is going to be the day that launches. It might do that. Okay, so right here we have potential change in state of delivery. So again, what we can do is we can attempt it again, but it is pretty late. Like it's already 12. So I'm personally not going to. I would have to trade within these hours. I would have honestly preferred to see it go like this, right? Where we hit off this breaker block and then we start to see it go directly up like that. This is what I would have, you know, wanted to see. But again, we mitigated our risk. We entered like somewhere around here, I think. And so our stop loss was just underneath there. So it's what it is. But honestly, the way that it's developing right now, this looks like a completed correction. So I think that this will probably just go up from here. But anyways, all good. Let's see. Okay, just accumulating, and let's go to the next day. Watch the next day. It's gonna New York is gonna be up higher. Yep, as anticipated. So it did end up holding that. And on the daily, what did we have here? We had that close in respect of the daily range. So daily failed to break below this low. Oop, not that one. Daily failed to break below this low. We closed back above. So guess what? This day is likely to expand up to here and then expand up into these highs. That's what I'm anticipating. Okay. So yeah, we just got been having a tough break on these ones today. Having a very, very tough break. But yeah, the daily high, we're looking at price getting back up into here. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. Skipping one candle. It says, yeah, go, it's control space. I've been using control space. Control space, even on a Mac. Oh man, this is just nasty. Just nasty, guys. Ended up going to our take profit without really giving us anything. There was that little sweep on the hourly, and I guess we could have taken it there, but I would not have taken it, honestly, for me. I would have much preferred to see price come back down lower into this range, not be right up here. So yeah, so we were right in regards to the direction. It was just a tough one to catch. Look at this. Look at the price action here. Just a tough one to grab, guys. Okay. Again, if I was just to play it completely safe and just say, hey, I know that this low is going to be protected. This high should be preserved, or sorry, that high should be targeted. I can use my fib and just go for the OTE entry on that. Okay. Like this could have been the opportunity right here. Just go OTE, stop loss down here. If I was really adamant on the position, start taking levels there, targets up there. Yeah, it did. It did. But anyways, that's how, you know, the ideal scenario probably would have been. If you're going to take that, just base it off of the OTE and the fair value gap there. and then liquidity resting right here, and then good to go. So yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. But again, you would have been holding overnight as well, which again, that's just not my strategy to be entering here, holding overnight and waiting for the next day to go. That's just not what I do. If it's in profit, then I'll hold overnight, you know, depending on the scenario. But yeah, all good is what it is. Just going to continue up, bullish candles up until the daily highs there. So wouldn't be surprised the next hour probably come back down into here, retest, and then break back up. Okay, there's that fair value gap here on the 1 hour as well we got to be conscious of. Yeah, just going to go straight up. Brutal. Exactly what we wanted. We tried to go long a couple times, but just failed. And hey, this is a part of it. So again, let's just review back on what you could have done. First off, option number 1, entering directly off of the order block and just having a larger stop. Right, that's definitely one of the things that could have been happening here. Entering directly off of that turtle soup entry right here. Okay, so the taking at a low into a major point of interest. We have our order block right there. That could have been entered on directly. Second entry could have been. I would have, like I said, I would have definitely taken the breaker block entry, which I did. Okay, and we took basically a break even on that. So that one I easily would have taken 100% in real life. And then again, this one here, if you were the type that wants to enter and hold it overnight at around break even, which that's not my style, so I wouldn't have done that. But you would have done OTE and everything right here, and that would have been the one that really launched price. In regards to this this day here, not too much for me. You know, very small retracements, and again, it just would have been one that I would have been taking anyways on this day. So all good. Again, bias right, execution's wrong. That's a part of it. It just is what it is. It just is what it is, guys. So let's go to the next New York session because we don't need to look at any of this anymore. And we'll look at how the daily is. Actually, let's look at the weekly. Let's keep an eye on that. Because right now we're still up into this fill. Okay. But yeah, so again, we failed, hit that rejection block, right? Close back within. The next week, we're looking at targeting this high. And we didn't get it this week or this week here, but the next week followed through where we got that swing point. And so now the next week followed through and hit that level. So yeah, now we're up at a point of interest on the weekly. Okay. Remember, we're still within this large fair value gap over here. Okay. So again, we still could be coming back down, but let's see. Hold on. Let me see the monthly. Monthly looks bullish, to be honest. Right? Where we failed to create a lower low here. And now we're looking to seek out the highs up there. So let's go back down into the daily and see what's shaking. Okay, we are in that point of interest. We swept a daily high into that level. We have this nice clean leg here to come back into. Let's go. It does look more bullish though, the way that we're looking on the higher time frames. Okay. We took out London's low with a nice 1 hour sweep. I'm definitely looking at more upside, to be honest. The way that this is looking is just purely bullish. Okay. We're supporting. I'm just trying to see maybe if there's somewhere that it wants to go a little bit higher. If anything, it might go up to here, a little bit higher up into that fair value gap. Okay, took out London's low, slid through. Okay, last sequence of down candles is right here. That's your order block. So let's see. There you go. Order block right there. Again, for me, 30, that would have been a 1 hour, so not really that good. The only opportunity for me would have been if price got down here, rejected, and respected that, right? Because then we could get something around here. to target that high. Okay, but again, once again, bias correct, just execution non-existent. So there it is. But now we're up into this point. Okay, so now we have to be careful because if we're looking for longs, you know, you shouldn't. Well, I wouldn't be looking for longs right from here. Right, we already took out those daily highs. Okay, we had that. We're up into a major level right here. We have to be very cognizant of this level. Okay, weekly, we're up into it. Now, can price go and come out and take out this high and this high? Yeah, absolutely. Right, we're still holding the bottom of this fair value gap, and so it does look like we might come back up into this high anyways. But just saying, for the weekly candle, we've expanded the weekly range, okay, and we're coming up into a point of interest. So it's just something to be aware of on for intraday. Okay. Okay, so intraday, you can see we're back up. We took out that high, but again, we still faded back down into that leg, so we're still holding. Nothing really much going on here. Still looks like it's going to go back up. There you go. This now I'm anticipating is going to be the fate, like it is going to fail. Let's see. There you go. Okay, because that's what you want. As soon as you expand the weekly range and everything like that, you're going to get bullish order blocks and stuff like that that are going to fail. Okay, so we have that high. We got that hourly high that was rinsed. Okay, rinsed of the hourly high right there. Next candle looks like it's going to at least seek this fair value gap and potentially even the consolidation low in London. All right. Fair value gap resting right here now. Now, this is, again, what you don't want because we came back down to the most extreme point, right? The trades that you want are going to be the ones that are like this, where you get your entry model right here. And then by the time it gets down here, you can be at break even, right? You can be managed. Right here, it hits this level. And so now you have to be careful because it can easily go up. So that's why I wouldn't be taking this fair value gap. Also time. We're also at the end of the day. So there you go. But you can see that actually held gorgeously right here. Okay, all the way through. Took out Asia highs. This is the ideal scenario in London, where it takes out the Asia highs into that point of interest, and then we get that break back down. And as soon as you get that break back down right there, it's just shorts. Gorgeous, gorgeous. See, so we respected that level, respected that the order block there pretty nicely. Okay. There's your breaker. Order block combo. You have your fair value gap right here. So I would assume that we're going to get, what's it called? A little bit more downside here. Let's see, where's the 50% though of this leg? Okay, so we still didn't even get down into the 50% yet. So probably gonna at least fade back down into there. Let's see. It looks good, to be honest. It looks like we're gonna go. The only thing that you don't want to see is if this fair value gap gets closed back above, because then this could potentially just be a sweep and then retest like that and up. So those are the two kind of scenarios that I would assume. But let's see what the hourly close is like. Hourly, we got an hourly close with a sweep of a swing high here. Let me just grab that. All right, and what time is it? 1:30. We've been testing for a decent amount of time. Have literally gotten 0 wins on it though. Unfortunate, but that's all good. Sometimes this is the way the testing process goes. But yeah, this will probably be the last one for me, guys, unless anyone else has some other questions or anyone else wants to take over or whatever. We'll make it happen. Why is it so laggy? We haven't had any really lag. There's been actually 0 lag to be honest on our side here. So maybe the stream is lagging. I'm not too sure. Okay, so this is what we were saying. This is exactly what we said we didn't want to see if we were looking for shorts. Okay, you see how that hourly closed right through that range. And so yeah, this is probably just going to retest. Next hourly candle. Ideally, it starts off coming down, hits this level, hits this order block right here, right? And then we get a breakup like that. Yes, futures data. It is coming. We have a potential date. I don't want to say anything 100% because we don't have an exact date yet. But look, be aware of everything for next week. We're gonna have some updates on everything next week. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be out very, very soon. It got delayed with everything that was going on, so apologies about that. But yeah, just had to take care of some other things first. Yeah, okay, there's no lag. I was gonna say, it's super smooth. All right, so now what you don't want to see is this is why it's important to look at the 1 hour. You know, where you get that 1 hour close below. We swept. Okay, so what's the next this candle likely to do? It's likely to come back down into the range. Okay, and so that's exactly what it did. So it's always good to, you can avoid a lot of trades by just bad trades by just looking at the 1 hour and waiting for those 1 hour sweeps. Like look at, okay, we hit that 1 hour sweep. Okay, now the next candle is likely to be bullish to take out this high, this high, this high. Boom, it does that. Okay. 1 hour sweep. Next candle looking to take out this low. Right? It does that. This one here. Sweep. Take out this low. The previous hour low. It does that. So you can be aware of a lot of things by just looking at the 1 hour. Okay? That's what I'm saying. That's what I like to wait for. But now we have this order block here. But we also have to be aware of, again, where we're at on the higher time frame. We're at that fill of the weekly on the higher time frame where we have 1, 2, and maybe this is going to be that third portion of it, right? This is our swing, our daily swing here, daily swing point. So we always have to be aware of that. But let's see if we get some sort of reaction off of this on the 5 minute here. It doesn't look like it. Looks like we're just gonna, or it's coming right down to the order block, maybe. But let's see. I don't like that. The fact that we took out London's high, that's your short. Right here. Right at the beginning of the new hour. Where was that? 10 a.m. It didn't even give anything though. That right there. Okay. Change in state. Breaks back down. Yeah. At that hourly low. I don't like that. You see that? Fair value gap on either side. That's a high resistant level there. So something to be aware of. And it's also London close, so wouldn't or I'm not going to take any more trades. I think that's basically it. But you can see here that it's supported right here. Let's see if it's going to go up. Breaks back down. Use it on the other side right here. Breaks back down. So yeah, that's basically it. Again, we didn't get what we wanted here. Get what we wanted here. And it did go back up. But I'll show you on the daily. It's probably where we got a nice swing point here. See what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3 daily swing point. So when you hit a swing point from an area of interest, then it's something to be cognizant about, because now we could easily start fading back down into the range after taking out the daily high, coming back down into the 50% or lower. Okay. And the way that it looks right now, it does look exactly like that. Right? It looks exactly like that, where we just took out some liquidity up here. We are breaking back down. Let's see how the hourly closes here. I'm on the 1 minute. Let's go to the 1 hour. All right. So again, what did we see here? We got that 1 hour sweep. Look at 1 hour respecting right here. We have another 1 hour sweep, but the sweep's on both sides. So I'm more inclined to see shorts here, guys. Let's see if we can end it off on a good note here. Okay, there's a little fair value gap up here. There's this order block right up here. Let's see. So we got back up into that range, back up into that 1 hour high, that rejection block. Let's see if we can get I'm going to wait for the 1 hour close here. What are we at? We are at 8:45. So let's get the 1 hour close. Perfect. And so now what we can do is we can look for shorts. Okay. We have this whole wick that we got to be careful of. Okay. But yeah, that's exactly what we want. We want to see it fade back up into this high right here, and then we can look for those shorts. That high, and we have this order block right here, right? The last sequence of up candles, it starts from right there. So depending on your entry criteria, it's up to you, right? Where you want to be entering on that. A good idea is to just use your fib and just say, hey, like, look at the 50% is here. So it's really this order block that would be the most worthy of taking. So you can take something like that. And we can take that down into here. So let's just try this out. Let's see if we can get one win to close off the session. There we go. Okay, so perfect. So we got tagged up into that trade there. And we came back up into it. It actually came up almost into the most extreme point there. But again, not worried about that at all in regards to where our entry could have been or how we could have optimized it. To me, that's completely fine. We entered at our order block there, and now we're good. And so now it looks like we're going to come down to seek the Asia lows. And again, it does look like we are going to come back down to seek the previous day's lows as well, and into that 50% of the range. But at this point now, I really don't even want to see price coming back up to my break even. The reason being is because we have this. Okay, we shifted structure right back here. So this high should be strong. And at the same time, the most that price should come back up to, or that I would like to see come back up to, is up to this last up candle here and the fair value gap right up there. So it really shouldn't get above this high, to be honest. I can move my stop up there, but at that point, it should be good to go. Now, I'm going to be taking partials at the next liquidity pool, which is Asia lows. Okay, that's the next major liquidity pool. And so what I'm going to do is just go down to the 1 minute and monitor it here. It actually shouldn't, the way that this is looking right now, we have a breaker block. So we have consolidation, sweep up, and then we slip through. Okay, this is our breaker. We took out a low, we took out a high, we slid through that low again. That's our breaker. And inside our breaker, what do we have? We have a fair value gap. Okay, so breaker, we have fair value gap here at the front of it, but really this is the major one. So we don't want to even see it getting back up to there, or we want to see it getting rejected off of there. Okay, but let's just see if we can hit our liquidity pool, and we'll take off a partial position. There we go. Okay, so exactly like what we said there, guys. It hit that level, respected, breaks back down, hits that liquidity pool. So let's just shed off maybe 50% of the position here, and we'll make up for some of those losses that we took. Okay, and yeah, let's target this previous day's low. Now, something you got to be careful with on the breakers is that what you'll often see is this. And let me show you, because this is something, if you understand this, it can actually save a lot for you. Okay, so you get that consolidation, the breakdown up, and then it slides through like this. Okay, this is what typically will happen on the breaker. You'll get something like this. It'll break this low, and then it'll come back up like that. Okay, it'll use this part as the inducement to bring it back down. Okay, but it's this breaker is huge, and it usually will yield some short-term response and then a longer-term response after it takes out the liquidity. Sometimes it just goes directly from here, but just be aware that that's a potential. Okay, but we're looking at taking out these equal lows and into the 50% of the leg. So let's just see. Okay, 5 minute. And we can actually just test it as if it were like a live environment, you know, where you're just looking at how price is developing on the 1 minute, and maybe not that fast, maybe a little slower. Okay, so what you're looking for here is, again, all of this to hold. You see how it's slowing down though, where we have consolidation, inefficient run into what? The last down candle here. You got to be careful with that, especially after taking out major liquidity like that. So it's definitely something to be cognizant of. But again, I'm still targeting these equal lows here. Let's reduce the time a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Okay, coming right back up to where I sit on that breaker. So just to be clear, we do have that. Did we break above it? No, we just left equal highs. So it'll probably pop back up again. There we go. Pops back up. Let's see if we can get the fade down now. No, we're stopped out at break even on the rest of that position. So yeah, again, hit that last low. I thought for sure it was going to break back below because it's a because it was these equal lows here. And again, we were bearish bias. But yeah, as soon as really the shift in market structure right there, right as soon as we get this order block and we close back above, I probably should have reduced even more of a position off of that. Okay, I should have reduced even more here at 1.8R and then called it on the rest. But yeah, all good is what it is. Just didn't get not getting the responses that we wanted here on gold. We had some really beautiful price action develop here. Yeah, just could have been maybe a little bit better with the entry, or sorry, with the management. But that's basically it. I mean, sorry, I didn't see the question. Let's see. There is a TV indicator that puts MTF price bars with the FVG onto any chart or E. Yeah, send us in the Discord, or send us in our Discord. Send us the name of it, and ideally, if you guys send like a TradingView link to any indicator, then you know we can go through and look at that and just check it out and see what's good with it. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. I mean, didn't go to plan. All right, didn't go to plan this one. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Can't win them all. But yeah, when I go to into the journal, it doesn't let me look at the different date than the one that is most current. Sorry, when I go to the journal through the dashboard, let's see. Go to the dashboard. Let's go to our, I don't think we logged any on this one though. Yeah, let's go back. I think I logged a couple on this one. Yeah. Yeah, you just got to scroll. Then you'll be good to go. I didn't take any screenshots on the other ones up here. That's why they're loading. Yeah, you just scroll. You mean like right here, like you want to make them pushable or clickable, sorry. If so, we'll add that to the list. If one of the guys on the stream can write that down. When the breaker spikes up, then down, does it produce a PPR? When a breaker spikes up, hold on. Yeah, it's scroll. Sorry, we'll make it click though. We can look into adding that. When the breaker spikes up, then down. Okay, hold on. Let me try and internalize that question a little bit more because it's hard for me to understand. Let's look at it right here. So the breaker that we were referring to in this scenario, where was it again? Were we not talking about it right here? Okay, well, whatever. This is one right here, okay? We have our consolidation. We have our consolidation here. We break down, we break up, we break through, and that's it. So this is our whole breaker right here. You can see it comes up to the top of it just because it has to fill in that fair value gap before coming back down. So that's the breaker. So when it spikes up, does it produce a balanced price range? Yeah, that's the whole purpose of it, right? Like when you're, it means that it's essentially all of that liquidity has been taken, like right here. Okay, consolidation. Sorry, I was literally just going to point out and I just lost where I was. So let me just draw it. Actually, it'll probably be easier. That's what these the PD arrays are, right? Where it goes break down and up like that. So the fact that this right here produced a balanced price range, it doesn't necessarily have to come back up into that level. The only time that you'll see that happen is usually when there's a big fair value gap that goes through the whole thing. And sometimes it might spike up, but you really want to see a close in this because that's balanced. It really doesn't need to do that, right? It really doesn't need to continue. So that's what it'll typically look like. You might spike up, but again, the BP or the breaker should hold because that's going to be that balanced price range. Also, there's like a difference when you upload pics. For example, first you upload the weekly, then you look at it from the back. It's like in the journal a difference when you upload the pics. For example, first you upload the weekly, then M30 if you look at it. I'm not quite sure I understand what you're saying on that one. Let's actually let's log let's log like a quick trade here. Let's log a quick trade here, just as an example. Again, I don't know if this is going to be a win or a loss. There's literally nothing going on here. Let's go like so, and let's take it down into this low like that. Okay, so let's just log this. And I don't know if you guys can see the journal. Oh no, there we go. Now you'll be able to see it. Okay, so we add, basically what I can do is I can just go on to higher time frames. So let me go into the higher time frame quick first. Okay. There we go. So screenshot, that's going to be the 1 hour. And then say, for example, I wanted to go into the lower time frame. So let's go to 5 minute. You guys won't be able to see this, but no worries. You'll see the journal soon. Add screenshot. So I'm not too sure what the question was. When you upload the pics, for example, first you upload the weekly, then the M30. If you look at it from the backtesting section in the order of the pics. Oh, you mean like there's a difference, like it doesn't show them back to back to back, like it doesn't show 1 hour and then the 5 and then so on, whatever you did, it kind of skips and it kind of jumbles them up rather. Is that what you're saying? If so, we'll look into that and we'll fix that for sure. But yeah, that's this is basically how the journal works for everyone, right? You can check your checklist off, or you don't have to use any checklist, but whatever your strategy is, you can use that. You can tag it. So say, for example, we'll say we're entering on a breaker here. There's a 5 minute fair value gap, and this trade is great. We can tag it whatever we want, and then as time goes on and whatever happens in that trade, right, we can tag it again. And so this one ended up being a loss. Okay, so you see it like that, and then we save it. Done. Okay, so it's really cool how it all works. I mean, it's really to help you, become a better trader, and that's ultimately what the goal is. So I hope you guys enjoy that. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to sign off here because it has been 2 hours on here, and I'm getting pretty hungry. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I apologize that the session we didn't smack a ton of trades, but I mean, is what it is. Like, yeah, this is a part of the testing process. Sometimes it can be frustrating, and sometimes it's not so fun. But hey, is what it is. Hope you guys got some value out of it at least. We had some fun. So, yeah, if there's nothing else, then we can close it and call it a day. I know, Daniel. Yeah, just send me a message on our Discord and we'll go through it. But yeah, no worries. No worries at all. No worries at all. Um, yeah, guys, I think that's basically it. I'm going to end it right here. Thank you all for joining me. Appreciate you guys. All right. Take it easy, guys. Cheers. Have a great day. Have a great